Right, okay, a 1967 Baldwin 712. So let's have a quick listen to the pickups and then I shall tell you what I can about it, but I think this may be over rather quickly, as the thespian said to the clergyman. Let's go. Okay, so let's have a listen to the pickups, and starting with the bridge. Lovely. Into the centre. Awesome. And on to the neck. That is very nice. Right, let's have a look round. So the first question that I would ask about one of these is, what does it sound like acoustically? Yeah, well, yeah, not much going on there in terms of acousticness, if that in fact is a word. So these were made, the Baldwin 712. So Baldwin bought Burns out, I think in '64 or something like that, and we did have that Hank Marvin prototype a good few weeks ago. And most of these, so they decided that they were missing a trick in the 335 market. So they did this, and these were all the 335 alike ones were called the 7 series or the 700 series. So there's a 706, which was just like a regular double cut 335. And so I think that there were half a dozen or so models. There was so 6-string with a vibrato, 6-string without a vibrato, a bass, and 2 12-strings. There was a regular 12-string and which was the 712, and then there was the 712T, and the T meant thin, as in neck. So it had a thin neck, apparently. This may or may, I don't know, it may or may not be, not much information out there about these, and of course there's no sticker inside the cavity, so we're kind of stuck with what we can find from photos and what's on the interweb. Alright, so from what I can gather, certainly, they were only produced between 1967 and 1970, and this is probably one of the earlier ones, because the majority, from what I can understand, were made in Italy and assembled in America. This one, as it tells us on the back, was most certainly made in England. It's a nice guitar, and it looks amazing. They came in 2 colours. They had them in tobacco sunburst, and they had them in the cherry. But there may possibly have been a black one, but that could have been one that's been refinished anyway. So they have got a bolt-on neck, and they've got some other interesting little features which I rather like. So the neck is mahogany, from what I can gather. You've got open gear tuners, which are ace, and this, I mean, to say that this is 1967, it really is all up and together, and everything works, and it's all original. It's not exactly time warp, but it's very, very good. So yes, we've got 2 courses of open gear tuner machines, which work absolutely impeccably. The neck, as you can see, there's a few age related marks on this, but not much in terms of playwear. The frets were mint. Well, are. And speaking of frets, we've got a 0 fret. I quite like a 0 fret. That's a nice thing to have. I like the way that the nut is cut. Is it aluminium, some kind of metal, some variety. A bound neck with a rosewood fingerboard with acrylic dots and well, I'm saying acrylic, I don't know what the dots are made of, with dots, dot inlays with 3 at the octave. Of course, you've got the markers on the side that tell you where you are as well, and a bound slimline semi-acoustic body with F-holes. Loving the bridge, trapeze bridge with the B, which was either going to be for Burns or Baldwin. How lucky that both names began with the letter B. I like the knobs. The knobs are nice. Exhaust pipe in the side, as you can see, and a tunematic bridge. It's a floating bridge, so you can wiggle it about to a place of your satisfaction. You could, if you wanted to, you could pin it, couldn't you? You could pin it quite easily. There's a variety of ways of doing that. Now, apparently, I was unable to measure the impedance. Don't know why, but anyway. So they do look like they might be humbuckers, but I've been told that they are not. So I don't know. I've not taken them apart. I don't want to, because everything works, and if it ain't broke and all that kind of script. So you do have a tunematic bridge where the saddles are adjustable for intonation, and as I say, of course, you can slide the whole thing up and down. You've got string height adjustment wheels on here, and the action, it's on the deck. Well, it's not on the deck, it's low, and it's easy to play. And with those bridge saddles, you can, to a degree, adjust the spacing of the strings, which is rather nice. I like the scratch plate. I like scratch plates. I like that sort of semi-industrial look that's on it there, the way that it's held on by this cantilevered item here. So yeah, bound, but I'm guessing that it's a maple laminate body. So it tells you, of course, here that there's a load of patent numbers on it, and it usefully tells you that this one was in fact made in England, which, whether that makes it more desirable or not, I don't really know. I don't think it's either a good thing or a bad thing, just a thing. So underneath this here, because you'll see that there's no hole for a truss rod here, and there's no truss rod access down here, which will be a pain in the neck, let's face it, with that pickup being so close to the neck. But underneath the black plastic plate with all the patent numbers on, there's another hole inside there, and it's got, because I did adjust the neck straighteners to get the action, bang on, and it operates with some, it must be a bit like a clockwork mechanism, because in here you go inside and it's so easy to turn, and it reacts absolutely instantly. It's a very clever thing, very easy to use. I had to make a tool to operate it, but once I'd done that took me longer than anything else, but once I'd done that, it was brilliant. So yeah, there's some lacquer cracks and some crazing, which I think that you could reasonably expect after, really, it'll be 60 years old in a few years' time. Yeah, and it all works, all the controls work, that everything is absolutely in order. Like I say, but there are, of course, marks in the, you can see there's crazing in the paintwork, and that, I think, is to be expected. If you remember that story about the Burns guitars that have been shipped to Nevada, with that polyester finish, when they got there, the paint just pinged off. So I suppose that we can be thankful that hasn't happened with this. Whether it's the polyester finish or not, I don't know. But anyway, there are a couple of these on the market, and they range from about 800 to about 1200 quid, depending on whether they've got a case, whether they're going to get shipped, what kind of condition really is the number one consideration with these. If you are thinking about buying one, they're owned. Make sure it plays. Make sure you can hear it before you part with any money. So that would be my only advice with these. But certainly for an owned guitar, they're quality. Absolutely through and through. So with that said, I shall bid you a fond farewell and thank you ever so much for tuning in as always. I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Adios amigos. Ta-ra.